Now, I'm making this video because some of you guys have a completely wrapped idea about running a content agency in 2025 and beyond, right? And the reason why that is because you have been sold a completely false dream by most YouTubers online who are talking about it, right? Most YouTubers online are telling you that, oh, this is a super easy business model that you can run even if you have zero skills at all, because you can just outsource the editing, or you can just outsource, the service delivery, and then boom, everything else is just going to work and it's going to be super easy. And it's just not the case. And it doesn't matter if you run a content agency or you run any sort of other agency, right? If you don't learn the skill sets and you don't master the thing that you are selling yourself, you will have a hard time with actually scaling the business. Now, does that mean at all that you have to be an expert video editor before you could start a successful content agency? No, not at all. I actually have one of my students in our coaching program, Grow Creatives, named Danush, who basically started out with us around 6 months ago at this point, and he started from scratch in the sense that he had zero editing skills. He had like one client and he was making like 800 to $1,000 a month, right? But he wasn't really consistently scaling. He was kind of hovering between like 1-2K a month, right? And the point is that he's been able to scale his business to around $15,000 a month, and he still never really opened an editing software, and he doesn't know much about how to actually do editing itself, but he understands what makes a good video. He understands how to grow on social media platforms. He understands how to do good titles, good thumbnails. He understands how to grow, right? And this is the key part. You don't need to be the best editor in the world to succeed with a content agency model. Hell, I'm not the best editor in the world. In fact, I'm very far from it. I don't even know how to use After Effects really well. I have guys in our community who are just way better editors than me, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that you need to understand what your clients actually want, right? What they want usually in 99% of cases is their content to perform better and for them to reach more people, get more leads, and make more sales and make more money, right? That's the reason why people buy services in the B2B space. The reason why somebody's gonna pay you $1,000 per month for content services is because they expect to make $5,000, $10,000 a month back from it in return in the form of extra attention and leads and clients that they get for their business. So why am I telling you all of this? Well, you cannot just go into this business model thinking like, okay, I'm gonna start this and it's gonna be so easy because I'll just hire an editor, I'll just hire a thumbnail guy, and they'll take care of everything else. All I need to do is just hop on some sales calls and sell them. And it's like, no, right? You need to understand what you are selling to its core, and you need to understand really like the ins and outs of the platforms you are, selling your clients on, whether you're helping them with YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or short form or long form, it doesn't matter. You need to understand what makes really good long form or short form content. You need to understand exactly how to grow on these platforms, and you need to have the skills how to manage a team like this. Because if you don't have any of these, guess what's gonna happen? You'll get on a sales call and you're just gonna embarrass yourself, because the clients are not stupid. You are talking to multiple 6 or 7 or 8 figure business owners. Do you think they got there by being stupid and making a bunch of wrong decisions? No, they know how to see through the bullshit. So if you don't know what you're doing, then they will see through it and you are just gonna, again, embarrass yourself. So what should you actually do? Should you quit? Should you not even start with this business model? No, I'm not saying that at all. You have to start somewhere, of course, and you have to start with some sort of business model. And I think the content agency model is one of the best ones to start in this day and age because of a couple things. It's in demand, like there's a lot of need for content marketing. Also, it's relatively simple in the sense that there are way more complex services as well. If you wanted to do, let's say, growth operating, where you're doing people's funnels, ads, content, everything, you need way more skills than with a content agency. So I would try to stay away from some of those super complex business models and try to stick with the simple ones, in the sense that you don't need tons of skills, right, to deliver the service in a high quality way. You just need to really focus every single day on becoming better at what you're selling, and you need to actually study it. So if you're selling YouTube services or if you're selling short form, you need to actually study how to make viral short form like 1 hour, 2 hours a day. Study the competition, like literally download videos, look at the best performing ones, compare them, see the common threads, and like every single day you need to educate yourself about it. And even with the editing stuff, even if you don't want to be the one editing it, you should be competent enough so that you can look over what your editors are doing and see whether they are doing a good job or a bad job. And if they are doing a bad job, you need to have enough knowledge so that you can direct them in the right direction. So this is the first thing, is that you need to understand that this is not like a drop servicing business model where you just hire some people and boom, everything else is taken care of. You actually want to become an expert at whatever it is that you are selling. So you will be good on sales goals. You will be able to actually explain your offer, how it works, and how you will be able to get clients those results, and most importantly, actually get them those results. And the second thing I wanted to touch on is you will need a team to scale this business model. My partner in my coaching business, Greg, he runs a content agency today called Brandive, which does over $60,000 per month in revenue. And guess what? They have a team of over 15 people, I think, at this point. So this is not the type of business model where you are just going to scale it up alone to tens of thousands of dollars or even $100,000 per month. You will need to have a team for it, and you will need to put the right people into the right seats. And eventually you can get it to a point, for example, where my business partner Greg's business is, Brandive, where they have content managers, right? They have people overlooking the editors, they have people communicating with the clients. So he doesn't need to be super involved on a day-to-day basis, but this is not the one-person business model. You can totally get it to, let's say, $10,000 to even $20,000 a month with a super small team and just being very, lean and efficient with it. But if you want to take it to really high numbers, eventually you will need to build a team around it. So that's another thing, is like, you should know what you're getting into. And I think if it's something you want to do, you should definitely do it, because the skills you will be learning from this experience of scaling a content agency are absolutely invaluable, and you will be able to use them in any sort of business model or business that you might start in the future. But I just want to also make that really clear that this is not a solo adventure. In the beginning it is, but eventually you will need a team, and that is actually quite a beautiful thing. It's amazing to get a group of people together, to give people a job, right, and to elevate as a group. But you want to be aware of this, that this is not going to be a solo journey. And then the third and final thing I wanted to touch on is that you need to understand that this is more of a long-term business model. If you are expecting to just start a content agency and blow it out up to tens of thousands a month in 30 days, you are in for a rude awakening. A lot of people, the reason they fail or they quit is because their expectations were so far out of the realm of reality that when reality hits, it's so bad, it's so different from what they expected that they just quit, right? So you gotta understand that in 1 to 3 months even, you're probably not gonna hit 10K a month. You are not going to definitely hit 30, 50, 100K a month if you are starting this from scratch. You have zero previous business experience, right? I see a lot of beginners who come to me and they are like, well, I've never run a business. I've actually never even made 3K or 5K a month in my life. But my goal in the next 90 days is to get to 50K a month. And I'm like, okay, do you think that's actually realistic? Do you think you'll get there? And yes, it's good to have this delusional belief in yourself, but if you put these very limiting timeframes on your goals, then all you are doing is you are just setting yourself up for failure. So it's good to have those large goals, it's good to have a big vision, but don't put these super short timeframes on it. Instead of saying, okay, I want to hit 50K a month in the next 3 months, just say okay, I want to hit 50K a month and I will do it in the next 3 years. You are going to be immediately just thinking in a different way. And, yes, you should still act with urgency and try to get there as soon as possible. And you can probably get there a lot faster, but at least you're not setting yourself up for rush decisions and a bunch of just disappointment. Okay. So understand that this is a long ride. And I would say if you're not going to do this business for 2 to 3 years, you shouldn't even start it at all. So I hope this video was insightful for you, or I hope you found it just, thought-provoking provoking, and I hope I can save at least one person from jumping into this and being met with a bunch of disappointment, because I like to stay real. There is so much bullshit out here on YouTube. It's just really needed, I think, to have like more of a level-headed perspective as well. Am I making this video to turn you away from your dreams or whatever? No, not at all. I think if you want to do a content agency and you want to make money with this model, you should absolutely go for it. And I will be the first one to encourage you to do it, but you should go into it with the right expectations and understand what you're actually getting yourself into. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do want help with scaling your content agency above 12 grand a month in the next years, right, I'm not going to put a short time frame on it, but if you want to get there, then we have a program called Grow Creatives which can help you get there. We have actually done it multiple times over, so we are very confident in what we have to offer. So if you want to hear more about that, check out the first link in the description below. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.